So, recently when I discovered this instrument, which is a sarangi, the traditional instrument of the Gandharba caste in Nepal, I began thinking playfully it might be fun to connect some traditions from halfway around the world. But as soon as I started thinking about it and playing around with it, I realized that was I going to be perverting tradition or preserving tradition by experimenting with Appalachian music on a sarangi? It started to raise a lot of questions beyond just my having fun exploring a new form of expression. And talking about traditions that were established a while ago and are now disappearing, there's a lot of concern for preserving those traditions, and I too am concerned about that. Often we analyze a fiddle tune and define it and point out the unique things about it, the ornaments and the phrasing, and then define a traditional style by talking to those unique things, those things that make it different. But what I started to realize, not by academically thinking about it, but by the experiment of trying to play American music on the sarangi, that there were very many things in common to be defined about what makes folk music. Worrying about the distinctions, the things that make it different, maybe it's time we paid a little attention to the heart of folk music. And it turns out that I think the heart of folk music has more to do with what's in common with all traditional music, from whatever part of the world, whatever geography, whatever ethnic group. It's not good enough to play my triplets the way an Irish fiddler plays triplets to play in the Irish style. I need to play in the heart of the Irish style. And it's the same thing with Nepali music, and it's the same thing with Appalachian music. And so, while I present to you now a rather crude experiment in connecting traditions, I think that within that experiment are ideas about finding and studying what is the heart of folk music and defining music by more than just the details of its ornaments and phrasing. So, the Gandharba were storytellers, and so were Appalachians. And everybody tells stories about chickens. So, here's a story about a chicken for you. So this is, as I remember the story, as told by a fellow from North Carolina named Richard Big Boy Henry. So I was sitting here thinking about the time when I was a little boy, and I had a little red rooster. We called him Old Bill. So Old Bill, he used to follow me around wherever I go. He just followed me around. He used to sleep on my windowsill and come around to the door to get his crumbs. I loved Old Bill. So one Sunday morning, I got up and I heard my mom talking. Now she was a Baptist lady, you know. She was one of those Baptists that she liked to wear the big hats, and she used to dress up, loved to dress up. And I heard she said to my father, she said, "Old man, we gotta fix Old Bill this morning." I said, "Oh Lordy, oh Lordy." Said, "We gotta fix Old Bill this morning. You know, the preacher's coming to dinner." And the preacher, they gotta have preacher got to have chicken. Oh, Lordy, I thought they're going to kill old Bill. Oh, they're going to kill old Bill this morning soon. Whoa, kill old Bill this morning soon. Oh, preacher coming to dinner. Gonna send old Bill to his lonesome home. So, now my mama, she's a pretty woman. She was a pretty woman. And my dad, he was jealous, you know. He kept a gun behind the door. And then, you know, and so that preacher, he'd come over to the house, you know. He came over one time when my daddy wasn't there, and he says to my mother, how about I'd like a holy kiss? My mother said, oh, no, old Reverend. No, my daddy, my husband will kill me. And he would have. So, you know, I watched everything in those days. But I looked out in the field, I looked out the house, and I saw this old Bill out there, and I thought, oh no, Lord have mercy, they're gonna kill old Bill. So Sunday morning, got up early, my daddy got up early, and he took old Bill out and wrung his neck, and I hear old Bill, don't try. Bill said, no, don't do it, but it was too late. It wrung his neck. Cooked up old Bill. They stewed him. They stewed old Bill. Preacher came to the table. They stewed old Bill. They put pastry on him. And my mama says, okay, come on, boy. Come on. I said, oh, no, I ain't going to eat my rooster. No, I ain't going to eat my rooster. But that preacher stood at the table, and he near ate the whole damn rooster all himself. And then he sits there picking his teeth and making jokes and telling lies to my daddy. Gets up, it's time to go. He says, well, I'll see you all next go around. And he looks at my mama and gives a big smile, but my mama looks away. She knew my daddy's looking. My dad, and I ain't kidding, my daddy would have smacked him up the side of the head. So the preacher, he decides to go, and so he goes down the road to get the bus, and tears are storming down my face. Yeah. Old Bill ain't gonna come get crumbs at the door no more. Yes, they killed old Bill this morning soon. Oh, they killed my old red rooster this morning soon. Old Bill ain't gonna be here no more. Gonna come around my door. That's the story of my old red rooster, old Bill. Part of the Gandharba repertoire was reciting stories from the great Hindu epics. And part of the hillbilly repertoire was telling stories from the Bible. And so if there were a Gandharba in 1930s Appalachian, they might have told this story. Now come here, buddy, come here to your pipe. I'll tell you a story set up in my lap. It's better than the story of Daniel or Ruth, although it is fishy, it's every bit true. Now, listen right well while I tell you this tale about how the prophet Jonah got caught by a whale. It not only caught him, and bless your dear soul, it not only caught him, but it swallowed him whole. Now part of this story is awfully sad, about a great city that went to the bad. The Lord saw those people with such wicked ways that he could hardly stand them for 40 more days. So the Lord said to Jonah, please go and try and tell those people that I give them 40 more days to get humbled down. And if they don't do it, I'll tear up the town. So Jonah spoke to Jonah, oh Jonah said no. I'm a true hard-shell Baptist and so I won't go. Nineveh people are nothing to me, and I'm so against foreign missions, you see. So he went down to Joppa, and there in great haste he boarded a ship for a different place. The Lord looked down and he said, oh, Jonah is fixing to run off on me. So he set the wind howling and squeaks and with squeals, and the ocean kicked up and kicked up its heels. Oh, Jonah confessed that it was caused by his sins, so the crew threw him out and the whale took him in. On a funniest sight that you ever have seen was Jonah riding off in his new submarine. The Nineveh people, they did not repent, 'cause the message of warning it was missent. Now after 3 days the whale got up with a pain in his stomach and a pain in his head. He said, I must get to the air mighty quick. This filthy old sinner is making me sick. So he winked his big eye and he waggled his tail, and he set off to shore to deliver his mail. He looked at the shore and he looked all around, then vomited Jonah clear up on the ground. Oh, Jonah thanked God for his mercy and grace, then looked at the whale and he made a great face. He thought how much better his preaching would be, since some of whale seminary he had a degree. So he arrived at the city about a week late, and started to preach from the moment he entered the gate, till the whole population repented and prayed, and the great hand of justice it was finally stayed. Now When you dissipate, mommy, remember this tale. When you run off from home, look out for a whale. There's varmints to get you on sea and on land, and a boy can be swallowed lots easier than a man. Your gun and whistle up your dog. We're off to the wild ones, run groundhog. Oh, groundhog, does it participate? So at the end of every verse, you all can sing, oh, groundhog. Well, old Gundigger, Sam and Dave, old Joe Digger, Sam and Dave, they went off hog hunting and all they saved. Oh, groundhog. Down the holler up the side, you get 10 cents for a groundhog hide. Oh, groundhog. Here comes Sally with a giggle and a grin. Here comes Sally with a giggle and a grin. Groundhog gravy all over her chin. Oh, groundhog. Children cried as the children cried. The girl did scream as the children cried. Love groundhog, whether it's cooked or fried. Oh, groundhog. Here comes Jimmy with a 10-foot pole. Here comes Jimmy with a 10-foot pole. For three nuts swimming out of his hole. Oh, groundhog. Eat meat and save the hide. Eat the meat and save the hide. The best of better skin ever was tried. Oh, groundhog. There's a little bit of cornbread on the shelf. A little bit of cornbread on the shelf. If you want any more, you can sing it yourself. Oh, groundhog. So while there are people in this world looking to create and define cultural identity by looking for the little details, whether it's music or other cultural aspects, and they're using those details to separate us, even to teach hate between us, I think it's an important time for us all to start studying that which is common, that which we all share, all my brothers and sisters throughout the world. Namaste.